Okay, well, we just watched the Elvis, That's the Way It Is.
It was great.
It was great.
It was excellent.
Elvis, That's the Way It Is. That is...
The way it is.
Yeah, let's say that a few more times. This is his last film that we watched. This is the last acting role was in November 1969. That was when it was released. This film is November 1970, so it's been a full year since he's had a film, which doesn't sound that big a deal, except for the last 10 years he's been making 3 films every year. So what has he been doing? Well, he's going back to Vegas. And so this movie is a document of his trip back to Vegas and trip back to live performing. And so what we get is a pretty amazing document of Elvis at this time. He looks fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And
sounds great.
Sounds, yeah, definitely.
Seems happy.
Right on. Yeah, he's got as much energy as you've ever seen him. As musical films go, music document films, I'm sure there are others that do as fine a job, but this is pretty remarkable. It is. It shows Elvis just in the studio, just rehearsing with his band, picking. He's already picked his band members, and they're literally demoing songs, trying to figure out what they want to play, what do they want the show to look like, to sound like. And then it moves right into see him practicing the final versions of songs with the band, and they show backup singers rehearsing their parts. Then they show everyone coming together and kind of putting the final touches on the show and all the different songs and what he wants to do. Then they're in the Vegas venue prepping and doing stage movements and just having a lot of fun. And it goes right on up until it's showtime. And you get a pretty decent concert-length performance. He goes through lots of songs, a lot of big hits, and then a lot of newer stuff at the time that he had never played before. It's just a pretty unique film of an entertainer's career. You also get the first appearances of these cliche jumpsuits and stuff he used to wear, but they don't go explicitly in telling you this, but you can see during rehearsals he gets into the songs and he jumps around and he tears his pants out all the time. So the stories went that he wanted more of a loose-fitting outfit so that he could move around and not worry about doing that during the concerts. And he also was a giant fan of karate, as his previous movie, every movie he was in, he sort of stuck some of that in. And so he kind of fashioned it after the karate uniforms he would wear when practicing. And so at this point it does seem a little strange, but he looks fantastic. All that cliche that comes later is later. Right now he's amazing looking and amazing sounding. So anything else would you like to add to this?
No, you said it all.
Yeah, we're getting there. So just as one more sort of clause I have to add in here, we watched the 2001 special edition where they had gone back into the archives and found a lot of missing or alternate footage, and they re-edited the film. So this is not the original form that it came out in 1970. Apparently there was probably 1 or 2 more versions of this film that you can hunt down. I imagine they're all gonna do the job for you. This one, they replaced some other bits that I'm gonna have to search out to see what exactly it was. But they said they replaced some non-Elvis things, like why would you want anything that's non-Elvis in this movie, and put in extra footage of him in the studio rehearsing songs and having fun. Being very impersonal, he gets to talk to the camera, you get to see him joke around. It's just nice to see him as a human being. And
he interacts with a lot of stars, movie stars back then.
Yeah, for sure.
They come to the show. It's really
do.
It's really interesting to look through the crowd and you get to see
Cary Grant, Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
He reads
Julia Prowse is there too.
Oh yeah, Julia Prowse, your favorite. And he reads a note from Tom Jones, and so you get the people coming into the show before, and then during the credits they show a little of the after party where the special guests get to come back and meet and greet and stuff like that. So
Pretty neat.
it's pretty neat. What's that? Is there anything else we wanted to cover? Okay, so that is 1970 when that happened. He does one more film that he's credited for during his life, and that comes, I guess, a couple years, probably 1972. So that one is kind of very similar to this, but it documents the touring process. So it's another really interesting and great find to have. But before I go any further now, we have to rate it.
5.
Yeah,
It's
seemed kind of
5.
obvious, so I kind of skipped
Yeah.
over it. It's definitely a 5.
Yeah, that's great.
This is a piece of music history. This is a piece of, I mean, it goes beyond, it's not really an Elvis film as much as a film about Elvis. And
Documentary.
yeah, it really captures the time really well. And again, if you're not interested in Elvis, if you're just interested in entertainment and what it takes to put on a show, this is a great document for that. So 5s all around for that, and we have another one coming soon, and we will catch you soon.
All right.
All right, see you.